Okay, everyone, new month. It is August. We have a little bit of a break from the heat wave, so we're only 100 degrees this week, which is great because I get to shoot this video, which is going to be a little different from the usual garden tours each month. This video we're going to focus pretty much mainly on tomatoes. So the tomatoes have been ripening for the past month or two. There's quite a few varieties in here. Something that I've been really excited about is these Queen of Malanaco tomatillos. We'll get to those in a minute. You can see some different beefsteaks. There's all sorts of cherries and snacking tomatoes. This is amaranth here. We have basil and a lot of stuff in there. So today I want to really focus on the tomatoes because they have been super happy. So I set up a few of them. We'll go over the different varieties. We can look at the normal update next month. And instead today we'll kind of focus on tomatoes. So here are the different varieties that we've been growing. We have a little audience with us today. So garden's pretty happy. Cucumbers are starting to ripen up. There's a few eggplants, a few things here. But again, we'll focus on tomatoes. So I think we're growing just over a dozen varieties. The only one that I was not able to bring for this video was the purple Cherokee because right now there are none that are ripe. So we'll start over here. Standard cherry tomatoes. I think these are baby boomers, not sure. These are actually tomatoes that we've been growing for, well, we grew them last year and saved the seeds, and we're growing the same kind this year. One of my favorites is this pink bumblebee here. I'm not sure if this shows up on camera, but they are just gorgeous. They're kind of like jewels. They're a little meatier than the standard cherry, but they're a great snacking tomato. Very meaty, very meaty. Not as sweet, but still really, really good. Romas have been producing quite all right. Actually, a lot of clusters have been on there. These are great for sauces, drying, of course, pretty much everything, but they're great for that type of stuff, stewing down. Black Crims, these, I thought they were going to be a bit bigger. They're actually only like 2 inches. Some of them are getting like 3 or 4 inches, but great producer. They've been very happy here. They've been pretty tolerant to the heat. They haven't been cracking as much as some of the others. So Black Crim, probably going to grow again next year. New Girl, people might be familiar with Early Girl. This is a new hybrid version of Early Girl. Supposed to produce a bit earlier in the season and keep producing until a bit later in the season, which they kind of did. I think this was the first tomato that we had in the season other than the cherries. So they did ripen up first, true to their name. We'll see if they go into the fall or if they kind of stop producing after the summer. We'll see. Blue Beauty, these are super pretty. Yeah, not much to say about them. They're just really pretty. Pretty meaty, not as sweet. Good slicers actually for being that size. They are just yummy. Let's see, beefsteak. Gosh, this thing's, you could tell, or you could see that this thing's just massive. Beefsteak, it's actually a bush steak tomato, very similar to the beefsteak, basically like the same as the beefsteak. It just grows on more of a bushy plant rather than more of a vining plant. I think it's the only determinate tomato that we have out of these. I think the rest of them are all indeterminates. But beefsteak, pretty much just like a perfect tomato. Yellow pear, these are probably the thing, like if we had to only grow one tomato, if we had to choose, it would probably be these. They're so prolific. I'm not kidding, hundreds. Each plant has like 100 tomatoes. They produce well, they hold on the plant well. They're a good combo of sweet and savory. They're not like too sweet, but they're just good. They're honestly just really good. Bread and salt. This thing is massive. Bigger than the beefsteak even. You could see the, well, I don't know how much this thing weighs. Honestly, probably like almost a pound. It is a ox heart variety. Comes from Russia. A lot of these old varieties come from Russia, like the black Krim comes from Crimea. But the ox heart varieties come from Russia. This is called bread and salt. I think there's like a tradition of them giving their guests bread and salt. Bread for hospitality and salt for longevity of friendship. Yeah, ox heart variety, bread and salt. I was super excited to get those seeds from Baker Creek this year and plant these. Heirloom, these have been coming in different sizes. They're pretty good sized. They have this really cute like pink color to them. I actually got these seeds from my dad. These are producing pretty well. They're not super prolific, but they're pretty yummy, and they're a really cute pink color. But those have been delicious also. Dester, it's hard to choose a favorite out of these, honestly. This might, I don't know. I don't want to choose, actually. This might be one of my favorites. I got this from my little sister, actually, up at the nursery that she works at. Great slicer, really tender, meaty, but not that like pithy mealiness to it at all. Really happy with that one, actually. Man, seeing all these, it's hard to choose a favorite, but the Dester is up there. Sweet 100. Sweet 100 is obviously very similar to just the standard cherry tomato, which I think is called the Baby Boomer. But the Sweet 100, they're sweet. I think they're sweeter than the cherries. I really like the way that they produce. Their vine is long and cascading, so it's kind of easier to pick. I don't know. I think if I had to choose between, well, out of the snacking tomatoes, it'd be the yellow pear. Out of the two red cherries, between the Sweet 100 and the standard cherry, I would choose these. I would choose the Sweet 100. They don't produce quite as much. They're not quite as prolific as the other cherry, but I just think they're a little bit better. Yeah. They're delicious. They're absolutely delicious. Oh, this hummingbird is gone. At the end here, the Queen of Malinaco tomatillos. So this is my first year growing these. Let me see if I have one hand while I'm holding this camera. It basically grows in this husk like a normal tomatillo, but it's, I don't know, more similar kind of to like a ground cherry. But they originate from Mexico. They have this oblong shape. They almost look like a pepper. And oh my gosh. I wish I could convey what this tastes like. It's definitely like a fruit. This is an odd flavor profile, actually. It's like a pineapple with a combo of like an apple. It's like an apple meets a pineapple, but in tomato form. It's really good, actually. But a lot of people don't like the flavor of them right off the vine. Blended into salsas and whatnot would really go well with like a mango salsa and some fish or something. But honestly, it kind of has an apple flavor. Regardless, they're awesome. I'm definitely going to save the seeds from these and keep growing them. But these are all the different types of tomatoes that we're growing this year. Truly hard to pick a favorite. Actually, this one's my favorite. Little Pink BB. It's the cutest. They taste delicious. they have the flavor of like a slicing tomato, like that real tomato flavor that you expect from a beef steak. They have that in this compact little cute size. So even though they're a snacking tomato, not a slicer, they have that slicer flavor profile. Actually, I'm not gonna choose a favorite. I love them all. Okay, happy August. These are the tomatoes. Enjoy. I'm gonna go make some sauce.